again, it's on.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Kenny Mickens eats a sandwich of some kind, not a sandwich, a sandwich, there's a difference.
No eating on screen.
No eating on screen. Welcome back to Opinionation. It's your man, Dominique Superstar. You got Hassan McCullough on the road again. He's so glad to be on the road again. And stuff like that. And your man's Kenny, that's not true. Mickens.
I'm coming in like Sam Cooke.
Oh.
Another Saturday night.
Ain't got nobody. Oh. Sounds like me every week. It's okay, though. Welcome back, everyone. We got another good topic this week. I was talking to Kenny and Hassan a little earlier today, and we started talking about inventions and who's created things. We started talking about melanated inventors. Today's topic, melanated inventors. What do you mean? Well, black people that have invented stuff. Black people don't invent nothing. What? Hassan, do black people invent stuff? Or were we, if you're a slave, can you invent some shit? You would have to invent a unmute button to then be able to join this conversation.
Yes, you could. Yeah, still be a slave and still invent stuff. I mean, somebody take it from you and claim it, but you can still invent something.
Yeah. Okay, because it threw me for a loop, Kenny, immediately, because I was like, well, if you are brilliant, but you are enslaved by a maniacal society, whatever you come up with is going to be stolen. And so can we really account for the inventions from about 1500 to about 1984?
Well, it's difficult. I mean, like you said, a number of inventions probably were stolen, lifted. The idea of them, right? Either some were just directly stolen or built upon to where your initial invention
You can't even feel it no more.
Becomes obsolete.
That's wild.
I remember once doing jury duty, and this is a different dude. He invented this steam curler. And yeah, for women, and women curled their hair, and his invention was stolen and basically built upon to where his now became obsolete.
Because it got the electric curler.
Well, the thing is, there's definitely been people who had ideas or either directly came to people, like you said, if they were not in the majority, those people probably directly stole them, went to the patent office and made money themselves.
Well, let's talk about Miriam Benjamin for a second.
Miriam Benjamin. Oh,
Miriam
okay,
Benjamin. You heard of her?
Maybe.
Okay, Miriam Elizabeth Benjamin, September 16th, 1861, she was born, and she died in 1947. Was an American school teacher and inventor. In 1888, she obtained a patent for the gong and signal chair for hotels, becoming the second African-American woman to receive a patent. Well, basically what this patent did, it was the precursor it was the precursor for when you need to call the flight attendant on an airplane. That's what her system turned into. Talk about, starting as one thing, Kenny, and turning into another. Her system turned into when you hit the bell for the flight attendant. Yeah. That's directly related to her. So, and that comes out of, yeah. And she did that in 1888. Yeah. Okay, so let's shout out another
What was
melanated.
okay?
Well, let's shout out one more melanated inventor, Henry Blair. Henry Blair was born in Glen Ross, Maryland in 1807. Blair was an African American farmer who patented two devices designed to help boost agriculture productivity. In doing so, he became the second African American to receive a U.S. patent. Blair died in 1860, but these patents were two inventions that helped him to boost his productivity. He received his first patent for a corn planter on October 14th, 1834. The planter resembled a
Oh,
wheelbarrow with a compartment to hold a seed and rakes dragging behind the cover. This device enabled farmers to plant crops more efficiently and enable a greater total yield. Blair signed the patent with an X, indicating that he was illiterate. Yeah.
Wow.
mm,
And signing it with
okay.
an X, how many people probably laid claim to that
Yeah.
because there's no official signature.
It's wild. It's what I mean, like I said, from 1500 up to 1987. Okay.
Mm.
Niggas just started getting patents in 1990.
Hmm.
Kenny was a full grown man when niggas was getting patents for the first time and not getting robbed.
1807, he said, right?
Huh?
1807?
The thing
October,
I
no, no,
find interesting
October,
about that,
October 14th, 1834. He received the corn planter patent.
the thing I find
And then he
interesting
got
1834.
about
another one.
that is even though you saying he was an uneducated man,
Mm, that's what they said.
he I mean that's what they say,
That's what
but
they said.
he was he was mechanically inclined enough to build something that that definitely revolutionized the
Clearly,
farming industry.
clearly.
You know, meaning there's not just one way to call yourself educated.
Yeah.
So he was able to move in a way that, you know, yeah, I might not be about these books, but, like you said, putting together, being able to see a wheelbarrow and a system with a rake that you can now kind of till the ground and plant seeds at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, is not everything is written down. So he was able to do that just off his mind. Just
Yeah, and probably engineer the machine, actually put the machine
oh
together
yeah, without a
as a
doubt.
mock-up. And
I'm
okay, so
sure he did.
let's shout out one more ancestor, Otis Boykin. Otis Boykin.
Otis Boykin. Okay.
Otis Frank Boykin, born August 29th, 1920, and he passed away March 26th, 1982, was an American inventor and engineer. His inventions include electrical resistors used in computing, missile guidance, and pacemakers out here in these streets.
Wow.
Mm.
Why don't we ever hear about these people on the evening news, Hassan? Why do I only hear about Chief Keef in Chicago and the Democratic sanctuary city? Why don't I ever hear that some of the greatest inventions that we use all the time for things we need are from the Sun people? I mean, are from the Black people. I mean, you know what I mean.
Indigenous. Maybe because they're promoting actors and entertainers and stuff like that, and just said you can just be an entertainer. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
oh. It's not
I don't,
invention. It's not invention entertaining. I think this is incredible to find out about all these great inventors and putting stuff together. Like that's not entertaining. That's not it.
I mean, it teaches you that you could do more than what you thought you could do. It
Oh,
can because you got to dumb. I mean, you're dumbing down this society by having them play sports instead of I mean, nothing wrong with sports, but it's dumbing down certain situations.
Well, wait a minute now, Hassan. You don't be hypocritical. You used to run for the Mormons.
I ran track. Yes, I did.
So
I
I
played
mean,
football. I played
well,
football too. Yes,
so I mean, I
but
mean, was it okay when you were doing it, and it's not okay now?
I listen. I have grown, and I can see the difference in
Selective.
some of those things. That
Oh,
wasn't a selective conformity at the time because
it was not.
um um
Ooh, brother,
tech,
repent, brother,
technically
repent. Wait a
technically
minute, hold
not
on.
because I didn't
Before
have
you
the
say
wisdom.
anything, repent,
I
brother. Before you say anything, repent, brother. Take your bow your head right now and repent because you are about to fall off your square. You were running for the Mormons, bro.
what I was gonna say is I did not realize what I was doing, so it wasn't like I
Uh,
was conforming.
ignorance is no excuse, is
No,
what they say.
oh, ignorance is no excuse, but I'm not saying that I'm excusing myself. I just it's not selective conformity because I wasn't conforming to anything I didn't know. You know,
Whoa, Kenny,
you have to know
Kenny,
that you're
Kenny,
conforming.
are you gonna allow him to stomp all over your garden that is selective conformity, my nigga? What the fuck is
You
going
have
on?
to know.
The
You have
thing
Get
to know
of
off
it
you're
his
is,
lawn.
conforming.
Dom,
Get off of his lawn.
just
You
because you
have to
don't
know you're
know,
conforming.
actually someone else did. I mean,
Oh,
you
ooh.
know, that knowledge wasn't handed to
It,
you and created right then. It was someone definitely had already cultivated it.
Oh, like the
So
field, like
if
the
that's
like
cloud.
if
Dom said,
for,
just because you didn't know, you know, last week when I talked, I said I damn sure used to take a pride in knowing how to knowing all the words of the anthem or the words
Yeah,
that we sang the most.
yeah.
But little did I know in my young mind there was a few
That
more
third
verses.
verse was ill.
There
You
was
know
a
what
few
I'm
more
saying?
verses. So
uh,
I'm sure there was someone saying,
I
"You
think
singing
that's
that, huh?"
totally
You dumb
different. I
motherfucker.
think
You
that's
dumb
I
motherfucker.
well,
you know that's wrong.
What?
That's
well, no,
playing
at
No,
the
no,
sports
wait.
and
time,
stuff.
Okay,
You
here we
don't
go.
realize that's
no,
Here
wrong.
we
at the
go.
time,
Here we
didn't
go.
know.
Nah, but here we go. No,
Well,
you are
me
crazy.
playing sports to make a living and stuff. It's totally different than me conforming to something. I made sports to play to make a living. I didn't know
I
that. I
can't
didn't
even
realize
believe
that that's
I
what's
can't
going
even
on.
believe you are actually trying to say this as if you're going to get away with saying this nonsense. I don't even
It ain't.
understand how you think you're going to stand on this with me and Kenny on the line.
I'm saying that if I knew that was what I was doing a long time ago, yes, I did not know
So you're
that
not
that was going
accountable.
on.
You're not accountable for when you didn't know, for your ignorance.
Um,
If
I'm
that's the case,
not.
okay, you know what? Let that be rhetorical. If you're not accountable for your ignorance, God, then nobody else is either. You can't talk to nobody about the Anunnaki, nigga. Fuck you mean? Don't talk to nobody about nothing.
First of all,
Matter of fact, you might be mute for the rest
most
of the
people don't even
series.
realize playing sports is conforming. Nobody says playing sports is conforming because if that's the case, nobody will play sports if that's conforming.
Well,
You know,
let's ask another athlete, brother
that's
Young,
enough.
brother Young.
What's up, fellas? What's up?
Good to see you, brother. Welcome back. We are talking this
Thank you.
week about melanated inventions, but brother Young, as you know, we do here at Opinion Nation, we've gotten off track. We are down the rabbit hole. And right now, we are dealing with
Already.
Hassan's selective conformity, in which Hassan says it was okay for him to run track and football for the Mormons because he didn't know no better. That's not a problem. He didn't know no better. So his ignorance shielded him, is what he's saying. Like, is that a thing? Like, does ignorance shield you, or is ignorance not an excuse, Elliot?
Well, ignorance can be an excuse. I mean, if you uh naivety, being
Oh.
naive, if that's a better way to say it, because
So if you
you can't
say it,
make an
if you say
excuse.
it better, does it make it true?
Well, an excuse is if you well, an excuse is you may know something, but you choose to do otherwise. I would think. But if you're naive and just don't know or just ignorant, then you just don't know. And so it just you're not as wise yet to figure things out. So you
So
just
that
go
means that
along with.
under that though, Elliot, not to cut your wisdom, but That means Hassan can never criticize anyone for not understanding the divine feminine. He couldn't
100%.
criticize anyone, for not drinking and staying hydrated because they are just ignorant. They don't know. They're running for the Mormons right now.
Exactly. So that's why you have to live life as you journey through this thing called life. You figure things out because you may be ignorant, you may be naive, and you go through life learning. That's the journey of life. We have to live.
Okay. Well,
but you're foolish to know and not do anything about it. That's where you become foolish.
So if you know better, you better do better, or else you are.
I mean, if you're able to, but like we all know, like certain foods not to eat are, but we still do certain things. We still may stop at a fast food restaurant. We know that's not the best choice, but we're still foolish to do it.
Hassan look like he in the chicken joint right now. Hassan look like he in the fried chicken joint right now. You on Crown Chicken, Hassan?
Not at all, homie.
You look like you about to order a 2-piece and a biscuit right now.
I don't eat chicken.
Oh,
don't eat chicken, brother.
Oh, do you look down? Do you look down on people that eat chicken? They're in their Mormon phase.
I do not care about what other people are doing. When they're doing their stuff, I don't care.
Right. Let's snap it back.
What I'm doing.
Let's snap it back, because like I said, Elliot, you walked in on the rabbit hole for which we're known for. We're talking about melanated inventors, bro. I had brought up this gentleman, Otis Boykin. Otis is responsible for some electrical resistors that are for computing, and they're using missile guidance and pacemakers and whatnot. Otis was doing his thing. He passed away March 26, 1982. We were just shouting out melanated folk. I got another one real quick. This brother's name is what's my man's name? George Edward Alcorn. George Edward Alcorn, born March 22nd, 1940, is an American physicist, engineer, inventor, and professor. He taught at Howard University and the University of the District of Columbia. Can we get his inventions? His inventions are... Hold on. Alcorn's best-known invention is the X-ray spectrometer, which earned him a NASA Goddard Space Flight Center Award for Inventor of the Year in 1984. Yeah. Other significant inventions concern plasma etching for semiconductor devices. So, this dude was like contributing where others are just selling juice. I mean, is there a different, like, is it ignorant to sell juice when you could be making spaceships?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
Because that's not everybody. Everybody's gift isn't to invent. Some of us have the gift of juice.
Okay, so Hassan,
some of us have
the brother said you welcome in the kingdom, Hassan.
Listen, I invented juice that has different flavor, and as you put different, you put stuff
Kenny
together.
Went away just now. You just made Kenny go away when you just said you invented juice. I saw Kenny lost like a heartbeat for a second when you said you invented juice
recipes.
You created juice formulas.
Yeah,
but inventing juice.
Listen, that man said he invented juice.
You created formulas of juice.
I invented weed juice and then created juices.
Now you invented the company We Juice. Yeah.
Right.
Hey man. Hey man, Hassan is the David Koresh of fruit juice, my niggas. You better understand. Hassan will have you out here in a cult, okay? And he had you in the woods naked, talking about have your juice. We can all have our juices now. All right. Elliot.
Yes, sir.
Man, do this with me. Check this out.
All right.
So earlier today, I saw some commercials on TV. It's the quote unquote Christmas holiday and whatnot. Not my cup of tea, but I pay attention to life. And I started to remember as a child, man, I loved racing sets. Like Like, I loved a racing set, Circuit A 74, 75. Like, that's all I wanted every year for Christmas was a racing set. You follow me, Elliot?
Right.
Did you ever have one when you were a kid? You ever have a racing set?
Man, I tore up too much stuff, man. I did, but I was a kid that tore up everything, man.
Well, I'm not mad at that because I like to tear it up too to find out how it worked. But I mean, I'm just saying you had one. You had one, yeah.
I
Okay.
had them.
And Hassan, you've had a
But they didn't
racing
last.
set.
They didn't last, so I didn't get a chance to enjoy them because I'll tear them up, man.
I got you. Well, here's the thing. You know, I've been living for 53 years. And for all these 53 years, there's been a conversation on the Tesseract about fossil fuel renewals, about global warming, about electric vehicles, etc. In those 50 years, Elliot, the invention of electric cars are just coming online in the 50 years that I've been paying attention. You following me?
I'm following.
Elliot. Elliot, my man, Elliot.
What's
You
up?
know, secret societies, different organizations, they have information that the world doesn't have. And a lot of times they say that information is hidden in plain sight. Elliot, when you're 5 years old, 6 years old, like me, 1976, and you get a racing set for Christmas, Elliot, you have an electrical grid for cars on your floor in your living room.
Correct.
I don't think you're getting what I'm putting down.
I'm getting it.
They've shown
I'm
us
getting it.
they've shown us the blueprint for a complete highway system. Like the more tracks you get, Elliot, well, that's why I asked you if you ever had. I used to get them every year. So I used to accumulate Tyco tracks. You understand me? Like Tyco tracks might as well have been like money to me. If Tyco tracks was money when I was 9 years old, I would have been a billionaire.
Well, isn't that equivalent to the L trains?
To your point,
Subways?
the L's and the trains are electric. They're not gas. Right. So, in other words, we've been dealing with the very thing that they're saying is too far away the whole time, to the point where they give children. You can go buy a racing set today, pretty much the same one I had in 1974. But that could be the complete highway system.
But there are tracks, and so would you have free reign to get on and
Don't
get off?
Don't even do it, Elliot. Don't even do it.
No, I'm not an engineer. I'm not an engineer. So
well, you don't have to be the racing set. The racing set. You don't have to be. That's the point. The racing set is already the invention. It's just at micro, macro, micro. Yep. As is above, so is below. The ant colony is nothing more than the human civilization, bigger.
But if you had it on the streets, how would it work? Like, how would you be able to
have it under the ground? It'd be under the ground and it'd be on all the streets. That's all they would do.
I can give you one of the blueprints because this is something factual. You can actually Google this. When I moved out of Los Angeles in 2000, right before I moved back here 20 years later, Los Angeles was putting in something that they called the Skyway. It was a highway for cars to ride in the sky, but they were putting sensors in the 405 freeway. Inside the freeway, I guess that would either light up or some kind of electrical sensor. The point is, bro, if you have it in a model for a child's toy, just like a little robot, when I was a kid, they had little robots too. We now know what Boston Dynamic has.
I mean, you guys may not realize about the Tartarian age where in Russia, where they had electric electric cars and electric scooters. They had all that stuff in Russia. It was in I'm not sure what year it was, but the Tartarian period. They erased that from history because they dealt with electric everything. It had electric on top of the buildings and stuff like that. It was electric grid. And they erased that whole society.
I'm here.
Well, what say you? Yeah, you might have to deal with this one, Kenny. Because the racing sets is the problem.
I'm not going to jump off the rails. I'm going to stay where we at. And the invention of, like you said, the electric cars and some of these inventions that could have changed our life. Could have moved us away from these fossil fuels.
They've
what
already
you have,
had all this stuff. They've already had all this stuff. They have all these different. They've had all this stuff. They just made it seem like we're dumb.
Well, what I would say to that before we, and I'm not going to deny it or say yeah we did. What I'll say is, whoever had it allowed it to be
hoarded.
We all had it. We all had it. Every
removed.
Civilization had it.
Hassan,
every civilization had it.
I don't.
Hassan, will you let Kenny finish?
I don't see the evidence that we had that and sustained it. We didn't sustain it because someone must have taken it away.
Just because you don't see the evidence don't mean that it didn't exist. Because if you don't realize,
I'm not saying it didn't exist. What I'm saying is I can't put my flag on it and say it was.
How would it existed if there's no proof buried anywhere?
Well, to your point, Elliot. To your point, Elliot. Hassan, let me address it real quick. To your point, Elliot. Hassan is somewhat referring to. Hassan's like, I don't know the dates, which is kind of ridiculous to bring something up if you can't tell nobody when it is. But I think Hassan's referring to a period where there was a ton of World's Fairs between the 1800s and the early 1900s. And in those World's Fairs, they would come to town and pretty much transform like the city center, which a lot of the cities didn't have a center yet. And they would make these magnificent structures. They would have monorails. But the thing is, guys, I've seen pictures of it. I've seen video of it on the internet. So it's not like, it's something you can't find. But there was World's Fairs that brought new technologies to bear, and then they would destroy it. They would destroy it. That they tell you that in the history books. They would erect it, and then they would destroy it. It was kind of like just showing you, how a commercial is today, telling you the iPhone is coming out in a month? That was the analog way of showing you what's coming to the world. That's what he's talking about, and they call it some period, but it's mostly built around.
I don't know, Dom. I think he's going further with it.
No, it's these World's Fairs. No, I know what he's talking about. It's these World's Fairs.
It's not just the world. It's not the World Fairs. It's the Tartarian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Dom. I think he's going further with it.
Called the Tartarian age.
Listen, if you didn't make up the word Tartarian, if you didn't make up the word Fran Tartarian, please just stop it. Because you just learned that word in the last 5 years. Knock it off.
No,
regurgitation of life is almost disgusting at this point.
It happened in Russia. It was.
We're just regurgitating anything the CIA puts out. You're just going to regurgitate it. Oh, my feet smell like roses because I like what? Stop it! You weren't saying Tartarian nothing back in 1994.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about it right now. The Tartarian age is what they hear from people. Because people are smarter than what people think that people know. They have dumbed down the society to think that they're not gods and stuff and not have this knowledge. There's always been so much knowledge.
Well, here's what I would say to that, Hassan. Knowledge is going to always peek through. No matter how much you try to dumb it down, no matter how much,
they've done that already. They've done down stuff by religion.
Knowledge is like a bad bitch. You know it when it comes in the room. What?
Knowledge is going to always find its way and weave its way through. So you might be able to hinder its progress a little bit, but I don't think you're going to be able to stop it. I think is always going to make its way through.
Well,
now,
based on
what
the
he
age
was saying
that we just lived in.
Go ahead.
Based on the age where we just came from a period called we're in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of I know, and we just came from the Piscean age, which is I believe.
And you know what?
And so
let me show you something. You have to tell me that. You see how you have to tell me what age we came from? Because I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Who are you?
That
What are you
period.
talking about? What are you selling? What kind of
In
snake
the
oil?
zodiac
How much is this juice? How much is this juice you selling? Because you talking about we done came from this era, we're going to that era. Who are you to be selling me whatever you got in your car, sir, in your spaceship?
Hey, listen, it's not just me. There's other scholars that talk about this. I get this knowledge from other scholars that talk
your
about these different
Tartarian pie. I don't want any Tartaria. I don't want any. I don't want any. You see?
All right. Let's
go
back to the top.
Listen, this whole Tartarian thing, I'm telling you, I am a nerd. I didn't hear about this until like.
You never heard about the Tartarian age?
Like
I can send you information about the Tartarian age. What'd you say? What you talking about?
I'm saying that I hadn't heard about this age and all its ramifications until about 7 years ago on the internet, on the Tesseract. Kenny didn't tell me about the Tartarian age. All I'm saying to you is stop regurgitating.
What does that got to do with anything?
It's regurgitation is what I'm saying. Who invented
Isn't all knowledge regurgitation? Because it ain't coming from you.
Who invented regurgitation? That's the motherfucker.
Every person. Every person when they look stuff up. Every person. Okay.
What era is that? What era? I mean, what? Who is defining eras out here, Kenny? What era are we in?
We're in the era of misdirection.
Whoa, that's for sure. This is the era of misdirection. He's talking about we came out of Aquarius. Who is Aquarius?
No, we're in the age of Aquarius right now. Everything has to do with the stars and stuff.
Knock it off.
All right, my bad. Sorry. We're not in the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius goes on for
where are we?
25,960 years. The age of Aquarius is going to be gone, where Saturn is actually in Aquarius. The cycle of Saturn is actually in Aquarius, which is called the age of Aquarius. It's the golden age. It's the age of information. That's why there's so much information that you can see now, because we're in the age of I know.
Hey, Elliot.
What's up?
Elliot. Yo, Elliot.
Brother, I think we might have lost Elliot.
Brother,
well, let me ask this.
No, hold up, Kenny, because I got a good one, but don't forget your question. Elliot, you there? Elliot's not there. Kenny, I'll ask you then. Hold on. Don't forget your question. Kenny, who invented lying? Wait a minute, Kenny, before you answer that, I'm speaking to the Anunnaki over here real quick. Let me holler at them and ask them if they know who invented lying. But then I'm going to ask Jesus. Then I'm going to ask Muhammad. Matter of fact, I got the Anunnaki, Jesus and Muhammad right over here. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm going to ask them who invented lying. As a matter of fact, there's some hermaphrodite angels over here too. I'm going to holler at all of them. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, no. Now, Jesus and Muhammad said the Anunnaki invented lying, but the Anunnaki said they lying. Who do I believe? I'm not a believer. Oh, that's right. I believe nothing.
You study till you know.
Ooh, hallelujah. It's a spiritual thing. It seems counterproductive. It's completely spiritual. It's respectful of God. I don't know shit. That age of what? The word Aquarius? Did you write that word? What? What are we doing?
Right.
Have to write the.
What age is the inventing in?
Elliot, the question was, who invented lying?
Lying?
Lying.
Like telling not the truth? Lying? That lying?
Motherfucking lying. Who invented that shit? That's a gangster. That's a G right there. G of all G. Gullible ass monkey types. And you just said, no, it's over there. And they all look over there.
What?
Oh my God. This is too easy. Somebody figured that out a long time ago. You could just tell these gullible mammals, look over there, and they'll all look over there, especially if you put a little bang with it, and then you can just handle your business. Oh my!
It's
Who
it's
invented
part of
lying?
deceit. It's part of deceit.
Woo!
So in the Bible, who's the most deceitful?
I don't know who. All
Mm.
I know is Jacob.
It's always the inferior.
I
It's
hate
the
it.
inferior whoever's the inferior is the deceiver.
Oh,
Oh,
Because you can't compete. You know, the
Hassan,
lion doesn't have to deceive
Hassan, are
because
you
he
a
walks through the
deceiver or
jungle.
deceived? Hassan, are you a deceiver or the deceived? Let's hear it.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not going into this, but the
Oh,
statement that Elliot kind of made, because in Leo was a deceiver, but he had a lot of power of the Anunnaki.
But
He
but
wasn't.
power doesn't mean you're the strongest. So not necessarily. You could be
This is
gifted
true.
power.
This
You could,
this is true.
so
Because he
the,
he
the, the,
was
the
he
strong
was a
the
jealous guy. He was a jealous guy and deceiver because he had different energy, unlike the gods. The gods was immortal,
he's
able to come
inferior.
back.
oh,
So
Oh, that is.
you
Elliot said
feel
he's here.
inferior. When you feel inferior, you feel the need to have your thoughts. You start pondering thoughts to how to get ahead and deceive to get ahead of someone else.
Uh-oh.
So
Right. You're actually right.
when you're the
You're right.
powerful, when you're the powerful, you don't have because you're already at the top. So you're not trying to worry about what everybody else is doing because you're already at the top.
So in other words, the nigga that invented lying was not doing well.
Hey man, you're
Necessity,
looking up. You want to
necessity is
be
the
where
mother of
you want to be
invention.
where he's at. You
Necessity
want to
is
be
the
where
mother
he's at.
of invention. My nigga needed something to happen, and he got the gullibles.
You know, you it's the game of life, baby. You
What,
know, it's the
Kenny, what
game of life.
time you realized you could lie about something, and it was like, wow, wait a minute. They don't know what I know. When, like we had to be early, but when was the first time you lied effectively? Don't play, Kenny.
Oh wow.
Don't do it.
Wow.
In the room, it's okay. You can blink.
That's wild. Who knows what I lied about? I'm sure it was to get out of an ass whooping. You know, when faced with that corporal punishment, is it a lie or is it self-preservation? When that lamp mysteriously hit the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. The Anunnaki did. I wish back then I could have said the Anunnaki knocked it to the ground.
Listen, I'm following the sword, man. I'm gonna tell y'all.
Parents would have slapped the shit out of your ass if you
Yeah.
said that. They would have slapped the shit out of you.
Listen, I'm gonna give y'all a quick 30-second story on the first time I realized what deception was and what lie and the power of lying. I've told my mother this story already, so don't feel bad for her. She already knows I've already apologized. Brothers, when I was about 3 years old, we were living in Philadelphia, and my mother went to the laundromat with me. And she had finished the laundry. She was coming back. We only lived about a block and a half away. But I wanted to be picked up, and my mother wouldn't pick me up. Nigga, when I tell you I gave her the craziest fit, I gave her the psycho. Like I gave her the white kid. I gave her the white kid shit in 73. You understand me? She couldn't, and she picked me up and she said, Dominique, if you cry like this, you're gonna make yourself sick. I looked at my mother, Kenny.
Got her.
I got one. Oh, wait a minute. I got this, but that was the first time I realized what the power of deception, and I realized it. I was 3. I got it. I was like, oh, I got what? All I gotta do.
What about the ultimate? Go to bed before a certain time, because if you're up, you won't receive gifts.
Oh, whoa. Well, That I'm sorry, I ruined that for my. I'm an only child. There after 7 years old, forget it. I was all over the crib. I knew where everything was. I played with shit. I played with shit and put it back perfectly in the box. Like I'm dead. Like forget it. It was over because I wasn't a believer in Santa Claus no more anyway. So it was like,
I think my mom and dad was the ultimate at hiding, because even though we had a big ass house, I searched that whole joint and couldn't find nothing.
wow.
Hey, it was in that 71 LTD trunk.
Yeah,
You know the big
It could have been. I'll tell you when I first learned. I'll tell you when I first learned what a lie was. My sister came in.
Uh-oh.
She was super excited.
Don't do that.
And she said, your pop has a truck. She said a Mack truck, in fact. A Mack truck full of toys. That's right outside. You got everything. You got Stretch Armstrong. There's 3 bikes in there.
Oh.
And I ran outside to nothing. And she said with a straight face, "Oh my God, somebody must have took it."
Yo!
Had me.
Oh, Sharon?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's mad.
And this was the 70s. I was ready to call Beretta, Kelly Savalas,
look at Kojak.
Get Kojak, get Starsky and Hutch. There's some thievery going on.
Going loop.
Listen, she said it was a Mack truck full of stuff.
Yo, Sharon ain't right for that, bro.
She had me looking at everybody in the neighborhood like you were in on the
Sharon
caper.
way different. That's crazy.
So I didn't perform the lie.
You were a victim of the lie. Listen,
I was a victim of the lie.
Sign. Let's go back to the God. Can we get the science, God? Are you the deceived? Are you the deceiver, God? Which one are you, Hassan?
Tom, I'm not a deceiver at all.
Oh.
That's not in my energy.
Oh.
That's not my purpose.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I don't like to lie. I'm gonna tell. Well, that's not true, but
wow,
wait,
just gonna pump it out like that.
Wait a minute. So you like the lie? The opposite.
I said I don't like the lie.
Like the lie.
I don't like the lie. I don't like the lie.
That sounds like a lie.
I have been very deceitful. You know, when you
Did
say
you
I
just
like
drop a "that's not true" on yourself?
Well,
you dropped a "that's not true" on yourself.
I can't talk about stuff that's in the past because it's in the past, you know. But I used to be one good deceiver.
Prove the past.
But past like maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Just right now. What you mean?
Years.
Right now.
What you mean? What you talking about?
Like what? Prove the past to me. Who invented the past? Who invented the past? And can you prove it? Niggas is quiet. It get crickety around these parts. Who invented the past and can you prove it? Questions that don't get asked. Let's go. Opinion Nation.
Well, I don't think anybody invented past. That's not even an invention, is it?
Time.
It's just
time.
Yeah, it's time.
Somebody invented time. True.
Well, no. I think time.
Yeah.
You know, somebody probably put a name to it. But time, seasons and rotations happen.
That's not considered time, though.
You can call it time, and somebody put hours to it or a name to it, but it was there.
Those are all spells based on the Masonic laws and stuff. The time clock and all that stuff. Those are all spells and the Masonic stuff. So
I'm not talking just the time clock. I'm talking.
I think
rotations around the sun.
Kenny, check this. I think Hassan has a point. Check it out. What if I invented right now, staying on concept, what if I invented a period for which we said time suspended? Follow me. Follow a thinker real quick. So I'm inventing something for the year now, kind of like leap year, where we call it suspension. So for 3, what you call months, there'll be no time. And we'll implement this every year. Now, what I just said may seem foreign and weird to you, But why is it any more foreign than January, February, March, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday? Huh?
Well, what I would say to that is, will nature follow your invention?
Well, Nate, listen,
I
Nate,
mean, you can you
we're
can say you suspended it.
us. We think cold happens in January. That's because
Yeah,
some of us live in
yeah.
parts of the world that are cold in January, but some of us live in Southern California.
Well, I mean, it's not just. I mean, even in where you're in Southern California, certain things take place at certain times. I mean,
The
your days
migration of
might
birds.
seem the sunshine might appear to you a little longer than it does in what they call March or what they call,
What if we did this?
you can.
Elliot, Kenny, what if we did this? What if we invented day into night? Meaning, when it's night, we now consider that day. Do you understand?
All that is the word. It's just a word. But like Kenny is saying, hell, the migration of birds. We don't blow a whistle and say, all right, today, birds, you all start flying south or you head back north. It happens.
Something in that bird going to tell him that it's time to roll.
We
Something
didn't
going to
invent
tell
anything for that bird.
Something going to tell
Do-
that
do we-
tide to
But
come up.
that's not
something gonna
time though. That's
That
not
is
time.
time,
though.
Hassan.
Why is it?
Talk
That
to
is not
Limit
time. That's not time.
It's
That's
a
not
time of the
time.
year
You
when the
guys
bird.
you guys don't understand that the time that we tell on clocks was invented by the Masonic
We
order.
just say that's
All
time,
this
but
Tell
it's
them
the
again.
same.
We can call it time.
Tell them
You can
again.
say,
but you can't
you
call
can
it
say
time though. You can't.
somebody before they gave it to a word, they said it's 12 shadows from that tree over there. You see that stone? That when that shadow over here, that's usually when
So
the
Buster,
water start receding.
Kenny, to
So
your point, let's build it. Listen, they attribute this to a dude named Einstein. I don't really fuck with Einstein like that. But they say he said time is relative. That you're pointing out the idea that in another space and time, somebody might have calculated this thing that we're referring to called time in different ways.
Correct.
Well, that's a relative
Correct.
thing. That's a relative idea. And so again,
Correct.
time is not actually defined.
well, I mean, again, where you might define it,
We agree on some
where
shit.
where's
We're
where's someone out there
agreeing.
saying
But
at
when
this point of day, the waves are the highest, let me go surf. And someone else is waking up and saying, this is the best time or best period to plant my crops.
Right.
So I don't have that sun beating on me in a few more shadows.
again,
You don't have to call it hours, you don't have to call it time. But again,
relative.
I don't think nature gonna follow your
I was trying to
Masonic inventions and
understand how we got to the invention of the past. It's a valid question. We take a lot of these monikers and concepts from children, and we just ride them into the sunset as adults and never question anything. Dom is a weirdo. Dom questions everything. The question is, how can we prove the past?
But why spend your time questioning something that's very relevant to our lives, where we all agree?
We all have
even
our
though you may not,
Elliot.
you may not have,
Elliot.
but it's been agreed upon that this is what's allows us to live more efficiently.
Well,
exactly.
that's your version of that in this moment, because
Agreed on with who?
I say to ye, there's always a better way. This is the colonizer way, number one. These are motherfuckers that weren't even great thinkers. These motherfuckers that mainly wanted to whip your ass. This system is based around whipping your ass.
I say time or the invention of time. We can't say it's the colonizers' thought when
this particular system is, bro.
When you saying is
all
lights
the
in the pyramid,
all the colonizers put the time wasn't no time construct at all.
Ain't no time.
So when those brothers was
the point, ain't no time, man.
Hold on. When those brothers was building the pyramids and things, and certain points of day where it was lighter, you don't think that they were saying, okay, we're going to do this at a certain point of day. We ain't going to call it time. We're going to do this at a certain
Well,
point of day.
you sound like that was put together in an analog way. I'm studying the idea that the pyramids might have happened like that. Like I'm studying different things. I don't.
Well,
You
what
guys
I'm
need to
saying
see.
is,
You guys need to see this video. I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna send this video to you guys when it talks about the time and how they invent all the time stuff for you guys to understand.
well, here's the thing to that.
You know,
Nah.
then
That's
you
just
guys
that
will have
person's
a different
opinion. That
understanding of the time.
that's that
concept.
person's opinion, though, isn't it?
And I agree with you, Kenny. I agree with that. That's the whole point. This is why the definition of time. This is why we got to this crazy part of the rabbit hole. Because what does any of this shit mean? When we invent stuff, how do you invent a light bulb? How do you invent electricity that's in the air, that's everywhere? You know, there was
some of the things that they call inventing can really be called harnessing.
stealing.
So if electricity and like using water to produce electricity, you didn't produce the water. What you managed to do was harness that water to move it in a certain way to produce a certain thing.
Sure.
So some of the things that we call inventing can really be called harnessing, because what we did was harness the power that was there already.
I agree. Don't talk to me about it. Talk to the
Yes.
tell you that they invented.
I mean, you know, somebody might tune
Kenny,
into this
I'm
and
glad
say,
that you
"Hold
said
on."
that. And that's what the human body is. Just the same exact way. Just like the power of the electricity, you have the power to harness your skill, your power.
Uh-oh.
Which you don't understand. They have dumbed us down to not realize that we have power to do all kind of shit because we are electric. Hearts is electric. Brain is electric.
Yeah.
You know,
But
we are
isn't
electric
that
beings.
a part?
Stomach's electric.
But isn't that a part of the system that we're in? They have to maintain a level of control in order to monetize it.
What is money? Who invented money, Ellie?
That's the whole thing. Everything is about money and stuff.
He just got beamed
That's
up.
why we've been dumbed down because
Totally got beamed up.
you know that's all it is. We have been dumbed down because they kind of monopolize off certain things about us,
right,
and make us slave. We definitely live in a slave colony, so we have been dumbed down.
Elliot, what can you imagine? What can you imagine really is at the nexus of what we're talking about? Listen, you talked about money, but we know that intellectually, money's not real. Money is just a way for us to kind of use for goods and services, et cetera, et cetera. Money is as real as the yellow line. If someone wanted to cross the yellow line at any time, they can. Hopefully they don't, but they can, right? So
it's just a matter of what we value. What we value at this particular.
Let's get to the nitty gritty. Is it not our energy? Like, is it when it comes down? Aren't we energy? Aren't we talking about the transference of energy? Aren't we currency?
100%.
Currency.
If you look at it, it's the individual that brings the most to the table. They offer, whoever offers the most can ask for the more out of life, in a sense.
Leverage.
What you bring to the market, what you have to offer the universe. And if you're an individual that have nothing to offer, then you're not going to get anything in return. And so you can bring a lot of intellect to the market, but if you can't package it, like Kenny say, and facilitate it to where it's valuable to somebody else, it's just wasted information you have.
You hear that, Hassan? You hear that, Hassan? All that shadow work you talking about doing. If you can't sell it to the kids, you understand me? If the hood ain't buying shadow work, then what's up? It ain't popping.
It's the market. You gotta tap into the market wherever you are. Bring it to the market.
Elliot done told you if you ain't selling weed juice to the hood, my niggas. So you out there in Beverly Hills. You out there with them wild women selling juices.
And that's the market, though. He's going where the market is. Who's willing to compensate him for his talents and skills
right now?
What'd you say?
Okay, I didn't say anything. Kenny.
Elliot was talking too as well, doofus.
Oh wow. Just personal attacks.
Yes, I said it.
Personal attacks. Do your shadow work, brother. You don't have to
That's not very Anunnaki of you.
Not very shadow like. You know what I mean? You need to wax on, wax off, bro. Yeah, you do. Yeah, man. It's okay.
That's real a little of you.
That's real and lil of you, bruh. See?
It's funny.
Yo, hey, Elliot, man, give us some
Yo,
last words on invention. Do you know any melanated inventors? We kicked it off talking about melanated inventors, and of course, we went down the rabbit hole. But give us some lasting line on some invention.
I don't. I've seen an article, but the guy that invented the super soaker. Are you familiar with him? The spray gun, the super soaker.
For your pool party
Yep.
extravaganzas.
Yep. Him.
Hassan, do you know any? Well, Hassan, you invented juice. Your inventor. Let's shout out Hassan. Ladies and gentlemen, Hassan McCullough, born 1994. He's still alive. He sells juice. He used to run for the Mormons, and he's a great American inventor of weed juice. Shout out.
So
Shout out.
a melanated woman, invented the cell phone, a maxi pad, pacemaker, elevator, refrigerator, open heart surgery. I mean, they performed their first open heart surgery, not invented it, but what else? I said the elevator, right?
Yeah.
Did I say the escalator? Escalator. What else?
Traffic light.
Traffic
light.
Traffic light. Yes, traffic light. Actually, the computer.
I have a partner in Memphis that invented a blunt board.
Whoa. What you mean?
Believe that? I don't know what a blunt board is, but okay, cool.
What's
a blunt board?
To put this?
You roll blunts on it.
Yeah.
Could you forward that information so I could facilitate to my blunt?
I surely will. He invents a lot of stuff.
I like that. Kenneth Mickens with the bucket, the red, the black, and the green. A sissy. But those are old school.
The Zimbabwe. This is the Zimbabwe bucket.
Yeah.
Straight from the motherland.
Yeah.
My wife grabbed it for me, knowing I love bucket hats.
Who invented marriage, Kenny?
Who invented marriage? God.
Oh, well, you know what? Hey, there you go. There you go. Hey, man.
God said, I need to balance out this man and give him his counterpart.
Okay, yeah. I'll mess with that.
He invented the union. Now, you can call it marriage or whatever. He invented it. The union.
Did God also...
What about the union? What about the union between two men and two women?
Whoa. What are you?
I don't necessarily call that a union.
That is a union. It is a union.
We were about to end the show. Did you just do
that? Union. Yeah, I did that. That's a union. That's another construct that you guys have been told. Construct. But we should end the show on that.
I didn't recognize that construct right now, but you did.
Oh, who you have sex with is all a construct.
Wow.
Is it?
I don't believe in that.
Yes, no, it is. It is.
Why is that a construct? You done added a whole new hour to this show. Because the parts
because there's certain
are compatible. You know,
that's natural.
It's like you get that iPhone or something, and you ain't got the right cord. It don't fit. You got to get the right parts that are compatible with these.
You know that people are compatible. Like women will talk to women, their friends, and they're compatible.
That's like
they may not be able to bear no kids. They may not be able to bear no kids, but they still are compatible.
That's like trying to use
That's what I'm saying. It's a construct.
That's like trying to use a 9-volt battery and you need double D's.
No,
Bruh.
Somebody must be the dude that always put his tongue on that 9-volt.
Yo.
No one is going to shock you.
Yeah.
Hey, son, are you the type of dude?
No one is going to shock you.
9-volt?
I've done that before.
See,
No.
it's something
Not
to
the
it.
9.
To a
That
cat.
little. That
How
other,
many
that other
how
thing.
many times have you put your tongue on the 9-volt?
I don't know. I can't remember. I was a
More
kid
than,
when somebody
no, this is
told
the
me.
question. Have you done it more than one time?
You still do it to see if
I don't
it's
think once.
useful.
Elliot, don't help him, please, Elliot. Don't help him. Hassan,
I don't use that type of battery, so I don't know. I've probably
I
done
don't
it
use
more
that
than
type of
once, maybe.
battery. You hear this
I
foolishness?
don't.
Hey,
I haven't
don't you
had
still
a
use?
because you
Don't
used
you
to
still?
use it in that video game, the football game.
You weaseled your way out of that one.
Don't
The
you
football
still?
game.
Don't
I
you
used to
still
use.
use that tactic to see if it's a good battery or not?
Elliot, you
No,
tell
sir.
No,
You put that
Elliot,
thing in the
no,
freezer,
sir.
and and when you take him out the freezer, if he right, he right. If he ain't,
Elliot,
get you some more batteries.
you telling on yourself, Elliot. I wasn't even trying to out you like that, my niggas. You telling on yourself. He's talking about, don't you have to do it more times and make sure? No, somebody liking the electricity, my nigga, on their tongue is what somebody.
You know, we should have asked Elliot the question: how does he do his cereal to find out?
Elliot, I hope you haven't got one. We have a question for you. We're going to end the show.
He don't know.
We're going to end the show. But Elliot, it's a fundamental question that we ask all of our new panelists over here at Opinionation. Elliot, when fixing a bowl of cereal, do you
Hold on, you got to drop your word in there. Your inaugural bowl of cereal.
when fixing your inaugural bowl of cereal, fresh Saturday morning, cartoons are coming on. Okay. Do you pour the cereal first or the milk first?
The cereal.
Ah,
Okay.
Elliot, we've established that anybody that pours the milk first is a straight psychopath.
Psychopath.
Who will pour the milk first?
Oh.
Have some of that wheat juice, baby.
Hassan pours the milk first.
Oh, you wonder.
Yes, I pour the milk
You
first.
wonder who might
I poured the milk first.
You
What's the
wonder
point of pouring the milk
Or the
first?
water first.
such a mad thing.
What's the point of pouring? What's the point of? Well, let me ask you this one question. This is a question I've always wondered, and this is off the rail. Remember the movie Friday? And when Craig pulled the big bowl of cereal, and he went and got the milk, how in the hell he didn't know that it wasn't any milk in the container when he pulled it out of the refrigerator? I've always wondered.
So in other words, you lobbying for what Hassan do. You want to go get the milk and pour the milk first in the bowl.
No, he poured the bowl of cereal first. He had a big bowl and poured the entire.
Listen, he didn't know there was not enough milk. But one thing
How you don't know that there's not enough milk if you grab the container of milk. By the age of 12,
my point exactly.
You should be an expert on how much milk is in the container based on your strength levels. I know. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly how much milk you have for a bowl of cereal by the moment you.
Because Elliot is waffling at this point. I'm starting.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you, Elliot.
No, I used to just wonder,
Thank
like,
you,
how
Elliot.
he didn't know he didn't have enough milk when he just poured it upside down and only a dribble came out. Like,
again,
I've been pouring milk since I was
lobbying for. He's low key lobbying for pouring the milk first.
No, I'm not lobbying for that.
No, yeah.
Elliot has firmly established he's a cereal pourer first.
I'm a cereal pourer first, but I could gauge how much milk is in the container the moment I pick it up before I even pull it out of the refrigerator.
For the milk.
All I gotta say, I'm gonna wrap it up. All I'm gonna say is this: don't ever turn your back on a nigga that poured a milk first. You out your fucking mind here. Don't you ever turn your back on a nigga that pour his milk first for a bowl.
I don't understand why that's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
Not a big deal, guys.
And the fact that he don't even understand makes you know how dangerous he is.
I just happen to be a person who thinks different. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Poured the milk first. Couple times. That's all good.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yo, it's been a great one,
I
dog.
just think different.
We love it. You know, we are fellas and brothers that love to have some intellectual banter with a little bit of chuckle in between. And so we've done it again. We will see y'all again, though, for another riveting conversation on Opinionation next week. All right?
Deuces.